Okay, here we have a 2006 Honda Ridgeline, and we have our typical Honda lock failure. And if you look closely, you can see, that one's better, you can see a line on the key. So we know that the wafer right here is the one that broke. Okay. Okay, next we're going to take off these little screws, also just Phillips. And the last one, we're back here. It's actually really easily accessible on this vehicle compared to, I think it's a Civics and Accords. Okay. We have access to the lock. Okay, and there's a roll pin hole, and sometimes you can get lucky just by smacking the ignition a bunch of times, it'll just fall out. Oh. Maybe no such luck today. Okay, well, I'm going to get the ignition removal tool ready. Okay, the correct tool for this vehicle is the Type 1. And there's only one way to put it on, so I'm going to screw that in place. It's labeled. It says red right here. That's where the red thumb screw goes, and black right here. We have this larger thumb screw that goes in from this side. Going to use that to put some pressure against the cylinder. Okay, and here's the actual puller. So I installed a sleeve and then one of these inner grabbers. I'm really not sure what they're called. You basically stick the sleeve in here. Then you stick this thing in. And then you turn that screw until it's snug, and I believe another half turn. Could be wrong, we'll figure it out. And we're gonna put that in here. It will hopefully seat right on that roll pin. Actually gonna tap the back of it. And we just screw it on till it stops. Right there. Then we'll turn the screw. Don't quote me on this. I think it's another half turn. Let's do 3/4 or so. And then hopefully it'll have grabbed onto that roll pin, so when I start backing this out, it'll take the roll pin with it. And it didn't, so I'm gonna take this back out and try again. These things can get really stuck in there, so I'm gonna get some pliers, take it out, and start over. All right, take two. I'll try to do a better job this time to make sure it actually goes on the roll pin. Maybe, but okay, this is what it's supposed to do. It has the roll pin stuck to it, and now we can remove all of this. this, and here's our ignition, and the spring is right here. Okay, yeah, so this tool is not the easiest to use. It can be a real pain in the ass sometimes, but it does work. So here are the original keys, and we'll be discarding both of them. You can see by the color of the head that this is a valet, but you can also see that the tip is shaped differently. So we're going to be decoding the regular one. Okay, this one says not for USA, so that's not ours. It's the second one. Hello. Always verify the results here. I mean, if you look at the first cut at the tip there, that's obviously wrong. So okay. Alright, here's our lock. Start by taking this clip out, and there's a little spring. And this arm comes off, And there's our little pivot pin. And next we have to get this roll pin out. Now we could drill here and push it out from the other side, but I've found to use a 90-degree hook and just sticking it behind it and then wedging it. See that? That also gets it out. And then from there, should be able to just grab it with pliers, pull it out. Okay. And this should just slide off. Nice if it did. There it goes. Okay, the only thing holding it up now is that. Okay, all right. Here we go. Not sure which one fell out where. It doesn't really matter. The only one I'm interested in showing you is the one that's broken. And it's usually the one that's hard to get out. That's probably that one right there. Yeah, so that one is stuck. I'm going to have to pull that out with pliers too. That is our offending wafer. Let me get you a closer look of that one. Okay, there it is. So you will notice that that little hook that the key is supposed to slide on got crimped over. The key, instead of it riding on there, the key just kind of smashed right past it. And that is what caused our scratch. Let's see if I can get a relatively good one here next to it so you can see the difference. See, this one still has a pretty good hook left. And that one's just completely gone. My original Honda Rekeying kit here. I just dumped all the springs and kind of flushed this out with alcohol. Get a few new springs going here. Right, and now I'm going to fill it with wafers, and there are a couple of ways to do it. The easiest way probably would have been to take them out one at a time, read what it is, and then put it in its place. Or you can just, if you don't know how to read the key and figure out which wafer it is, you could just put one in, see if it's flush, and if it's not, grab the next one. Alright, I got one side done, and now we'll do the other one. here. These would be ones. Okay, this right here was the bad chamber, and it's actually damaged, so I'm going to take that one back out. The wafer doesn't freely move. I'm just going to leave that one without one. Okay. Got 3 and 5. Come on. There we go. And do we have here? Is it 5 and 1? I don't know. Okay. Take some of that factory grease. I'm going to flush this one out with alcohol. Okay, not perfectly clean, but better than it was. Okay, so this thing luckily only goes on one way. That roll pin, I'm going to press back in using my pliers wrench, which I highly recommend for stuff like this. Trying to get it about halfway. Now this pin from earlier goes through here. And that spring goes right on top of that hole there. And there's our spring cap. Make sure this key actually works the door. That would have been embarrassing. Okay, not so fast. Need to put that spring behind it first. This one right here. All right, sometimes I take this roll pin back out of here. And stick it back in that hole. Like that. And sometimes I just leave it out, because it's not really required with this stuff holding it in. Oops. Ratchet does not want to ratchet. Oh well. And then that terrible one back there. Come on, ratchet the right way. Shit. Okay. we go. Wonder. Okay. Put those last few screws back in. One of these is a fine thread screw. This one, okay. All right, it's all back together. There's our security light. I cut another key since we had two to start with. Whoops. Uh-oh. Okay, I don't know if you saw that, but that was the machine screwing up. It doesn't do that often. Sometimes it has trouble sensing the key, so let's try that again. Okay. Oh, shit. looks okay. Looks pretty good. Ridgeline 2006. Okay. There's a way for me to hold this. Probably not. Okay. Turn the ignition on. All keys lost. We're going to be programming 2 keys. Ignition off. On. Here's our second one. Yes, let us out. Okay. All right. Okay, in order to program the remote, I'm going to close the door, turn the key on, and push the button off. Okay, now the door locks have cycled, so we're going to press the button again since we want to program this remote, and if we had another one, we'd press that one. Take it out. And no, it's not gonna. There we go. It's broken. Yeah, this is broken. You can hear it trying. push it down, it'll actually lock.